Everything changed with a single statement. And now the MMA world is asking one explosive question. Did Kamaru Usman just predict the future of Ilia Topuria after that heartbreaking defeat to Justin Gaethje, or did he reveal a deeper truth that every champion eventually has to face? This isn't just another fight breakdown. It's a story about destiny, pressure, confidence, and the brutal reality of combat sports, where one night can completely rewrite a legacy. Stay with us, because what Usman said has fans debating like never before. The discussion started after Justin Gaethje shocked the entire MMA community by defeating the previously unstoppable Ilia Topuria in one of the biggest upsets fans had witnessed. Almost everyone expected Topuria to continue his incredible run, extending his unbeaten record and proving once again why so many believed he was becoming the new face of the lightweight division. Instead, the Octagon delivered another unforgettable reminder that predictions mean nothing once the cage door closes. Every exchange carried enormous pressure because Topuria entered with sky-high expectations, while Gaethje walked in carrying years of experience, countless wars, and the determination to prove he still belonged among the absolute elite. The result stunned fans around the world and immediately triggered endless conversations about what really happened inside that cage. Some observers focused on strategy. Others pointed toward Gaethje's relentless pace. Many highlighted his ability to absorb punishment while continuing to push forward. But Kamaru Usman looked beyond the punches and kicks. He focused on something much bigger, the mindset that exists before a fight even begins. During his analysis, Usman reflected on the phrase that had surrounded Topuria before the contest. The undefeated champion had embraced the belief that victory was already destined, creating an aura of complete confidence that inspired supporters but also attracted enormous attention. Usman suggested that once an athlete begins believing everything is already written, the sport has a unique way of testing that belief. His message wasn't presented as criticism fueled by disrespect. Instead, it sounded like the perspective of someone who has personally experienced both the highest highs and the harshest lows inside the UFC. Usman knows exactly what it feels like to dominate opponents for years, before suddenly finding himself on the opposite side of history. That experience gave extra weight to every word he shared. According to Usman, the danger isn't confidence itself. Champions need confidence to reach the top. The real danger comes when certainty replaces preparation in the minds of fans, or when expectations become so overwhelming that every performance carries impossible pressure. Inside the Octagon, no reputation throws punches for you. No prediction wins rounds. No unbeaten record protects you from a determined challenger. That's where Justin Gaethje completely changed the narrative. Rather than accepting the role many had assigned him before fight night, he forced the action with relentless determination and refused to allow Topuria to dictate the pace. Every successful sequence gradually shifted momentum until the impossible suddenly became reality. Fans watching around the world realized they were witnessing something unforgettable unfold in real time. The aftermath became just as fascinating as the fight itself. Social media exploded with reactions from fighters, analysts, and supporters trying to explain what they had just witnessed. Some praised Gaethje's incredible resilience. Others defended Topuria by pointing out how difficult it is to remain undefeated forever. Meanwhile, Usman's comments introduced an entirely different layer to the conversation by focusing on psychology instead of statistics. His perspective resonated because it echoed lessons seen throughout MMA history. Countless dominant champions have entered fights surrounded by predictions of inevitable victory, only to discover that every challenger arrives believing they can become the next headline. The moment confidence meets desperation, anything becomes possible. That's exactly why this sport continues producing unforgettable nights that nobody can fully predict. But what truly grabbed attention was the way Usman connected the loss to future opportunities instead of treating it as the end of Topuria's journey. He explained that setbacks often reveal qualities victories never have the chance to expose. A fighter's response after defeat frequently shapes the next chapter far more than an undefeated streak ever could. While many fans immediately questioned whether this loss would permanently change Topuria, others argued that some of the greatest champions in MMA history became even stronger after tasting defeat for the first time. The conversation quickly shifted away from what had already happened toward what might happen next. Could this become the defining turning point of Topuria's career instead of its downfall? That possibility suddenly became impossible to ignore. Yet another fascinating detail emerged as analysts revisited Gaethje's career. For years, he had built a reputation for delivering unforgettable wars, surviving impossible moments, and refusing to quit regardless of the challenge standing across from him. Those experiences may have provided the exact composure needed on a night when almost everyone counted him out. Sometimes the greatest weapon isn't speed or power. It's surviving enough battles to recognize that opportunities eventually arrive for those willing to keep believing. As fans replayed every key exchange, another question quietly gained momentum. Was this upset simply the product of one extraordinary performance? Or had warning signs existed all along that many people ignored because Topuria looked nearly unstoppable? Suddenly, every previous fight, every interview, and every prediction was being re-examined through a completely different lens. And then one more angle entered the discussion, an angle that could completely reshape how people interpret Usman's comments and what they might reveal about Topuria's future. From that point, the conversation evolved into something far bigger than one result. It became a debate about how greatness is measured once perfection disappears. Kamaru Usman emphasized that losing a fight does not erase years of elite performances, but it instantly changes the questions every champion must answer. Instead of asking whether Topuria could dominate another opponent, fans were suddenly wondering how he would respond when the spotlight felt heavier than ever. That challenge has broken talented fighters before, yet it has also created legends who return stronger than anyone imagined. The difference is rarely physical. It is usually mental. Every training session after a defeat carries different emotions. Every round of sparring forces an athlete to confront memories they never wanted to relive. Every decision inside the gym becomes an opportunity either to rebuild confidence or allow doubt to grow. Usman explained that champions cannot control public opinion and that reality becomes especially difficult after an unexpected loss. One spectacular victory can make people believe a fighter is unbeatable. One disappointing night can convince those same voices that the reign is already over. Neither extreme reflects the complete picture. Real careers are built across years, not a single evening under bright lights. Meanwhile, Justin Gaethje emerged from the victory with renewed momentum that very few expected before the event. Instead of being viewed as an experienced veteran trying to hold his place, he instantly became one of the biggest stories in the division. His willingness to embrace danger, absorb pressure, and continue moving forward reminded everyone why he has remained one of the most respected competitors in the sport. The upset did more than improve his record. It completely transformed the championship conversation. Suddenly, potential matchups looked different. Rankings carried new meaning. Fighters who had been planning for one future now had to prepare for another. That is the unpredictable beauty of mixed martial arts. One performance can redirect an entire division overnight. Promoters begin exploring fresh possibilities. Contenders recognize unexpected opportunities. Champions realize every defense carries consequences that extend far beyond the final scorecards. Usman's remarks also highlighted another overlooked reality. Every elite athlete eventually discovers that confidence must be balanced with constant evolution. Opponents study habits, coaches develop new strategies, and challengers spend months preparing for specific tendencies. Remaining on top requires more than repeating what worked before. It demands continuous growth, even after dominant victories. That lesson becomes impossible to ignore once defeat enters the story. For Topuria, the road ahead now carries enormous significance. Fans are no longer interested only in who he fights next. They want to see how he adapts. Will he return with new tactics? Will this experience sharpen his focus even further? Or will the pressure surrounding expectations become even greater as every future appearance is analyzed in microscopic detail? Those questions cannot be answered through interviews. They will only be answered inside the cage. At the same time, Gaethje has every reason to believe another major opportunity is within reach. Defeating a fighter many considered nearly unstoppable dramatically changes perception across the sport. Momentum is a powerful force in MMA, and victories of this magnitude often open doors that seemed completely closed just weeks earlier. Every contender now understands that overlooking Gaethje would be a serious mistake. Perhaps the most fascinating part of Usman's analysis was his refusal to reduce the outcome to simple excuses. He did not blame luck. He did not dismiss Gaethje's achievement. He did not declare Topuria finished. Instead, he presented the defeat as part of a much larger cycle that every competitor eventually faces. Champions rise, challengers adapt, expectations increase, reality intervenes. Then, the next chapter begins. That perspective resonated because it reflects the unforgiving nature of elite competition. Every generation produces fighters who appear untouchable until someone discovers the formula capable of changing everything. Once that happens, the true test begins. Greatness is no longer protected by an undefeated record. It is measured by resilience, discipline, and the determination to write a new story after the old one unexpectedly ends. Fans remain divided over what happens next. Some believe Topuria will use this experience as motivation and return even more dangerous than before. Others feel Gaethje exposed weaknesses that future opponents will try to exploit. Neither side possesses certainty because MMA has repeatedly proven that the next fight often delivers another surprise nobody saw coming. That unpredictability keeps millions watching every event with enormous anticipation. As discussions continue across the MMA community, one statement from Usman continues echoing louder than the rest. The belief that everything is already written can disappear the moment the cage door closes. Inside those walls, reputations provide no protection, predictions guarantee nothing, and every second offers an opportunity for history to change direction. That philosophy explains why even the biggest favorites must earn every victory through action rather than expectation. Whether you agree with Usman's interpretation or believe Topuria simply had an off night, one fact is impossible to deny. This result reshaped the lightweight landscape and reignited Justin Gaethje's championship ambitions, while placing Topuria at one of the most important crossroads of his career. The next appearance from both fighters could determine the future of the entire division, making every announcement, every training update, and every matchup more important than ever before. One unforgettable fight created countless new questions, and the answers will only arrive when these elite warriors step back into the spotlight. Until then, the debate will continue, opinions will keep changing, and fans around the world will wait to discover whether this was the beginning of Gaethje's greatest run, the start of Topuria's ultimate comeback, or the first chapter in an even bigger rivalry that nobody expected. Only the next battle will reveal which story was truly written in the end. The conversation didn't stop when the interviews ended. It only became more intense. Across the MMA world, analysts continued debating whether this single result would become the defining moment of both fighters' careers, or simply another unforgettable chapter in a sport filled with shocking twists. Every new discussion added another perspective, proving that one night inside the Octagon can create months of speculation. For Ilia Topuria, the focus now shifts entirely toward his response. The greatest competitors in combat sports have always been defined not by avoiding setbacks, but by the way they recover from them. Every future training camp will carry a different purpose. Every adjustment will be examined. Every public appearance will be analyzed for signs of renewed determination. That's the pressure that comes with competing at the highest level. On the other side, Justin Gaethje has once again reminded the world why he remains one of the most dangerous names in MMA. Experience, resilience, and relentless aggression combined at exactly the right moment. Instead of accepting the role of underdog, he forced the division to pay attention once again. Suddenly, every possible matchup involving Gaethje feels massive. Kamaru Usman's comments continue to resonate because they reach beyond a single fight. His message serves as a reminder that confidence is essential, but humility and preparation remain equally important. In a sport where every opponent is capable of changing history, no outcome is guaranteed until the final bell sounds. That reality has humbled champions before, and it will continue to shape future generations of fighters. Now all eyes turn toward the next announcement. Who will Topuria face next? Can Gaethje build on this momentum and secure another title opportunity? Those answers could redefine the lightweight division once again. Until then, fans will keep debating every angle, replaying every exchange, and wondering whether this upset marked the beginning of an entirely new era. One thing is certain, the story is far from over, and the next chapter could be even more unbelievable than the last.